Hey, Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM22 Dragons episode 43. We are still at the Criterium, the Dauphine, stage 7 of 8, and these are the two most elite stages our team has ever faced in this series thus far. Massive climbs, one following another. This, a short stage. It's just over 100k in length, but it's 3 and a partial mega climbs. And we're already onto it. First one coming there, 6 minutes to the front of the field, and the front still never fully came together. At the front, Menkis not making contact. Kuznefroy, really good punchers, not making it up there. There's a few more riders. These guys have all been dropped, and we're down to a group of 5 at the front. Sivikov, big name that is there, and Steinhauser. Steinhauser, who was second place overall just a stage ago in the breakaway today. He is currently 10th place. And with a 7-minute advantage, that is certainly a worrying thing. Over this next climb, you would expect that gap better start coming down. But I'd like to see, as we're hitting the top, us make it fully over the top, and we do. 7:20, the gap to that front group. We'll see a full recovery here. We're going to need to get water. I think we're going to wait till over the top of the next climb to make that happen. 104 left in the peloton. A lot of riders already dropped. The least recovered, but that's partially because he's got a -4 today. By the way, the race day condition, you might have seen some trends by now. I hadn't really covered it in this race so far, but Tung, Locke, Taraskin combined expected is a -1 race day condition. I think Tung is the one who has the -1 on the expected. As a group today, well, they have a -4, so -3 collective between that whole group as we're down to 94 on this climb and continue to struggle. And actually, how are we doing? Is anybody too far back? No, we're okay. Halfway up the second climb of the day. Col de Prix, definitely the big name climb of all of them, and 2 Allscat climbs. Are we Allscat for the final climb as well? I think we might just be 15 points. No, 10 points for that one. So it's seen as a Cat 1. It's not as steep. Ultimately, longer climb, but not as steep. Well, Tung is done, and out the back, we're down to 55 riders in the peloton already. And taking over protection needs to be Hamad for Lieberman. Locke, not going to last much longer, but 1.7 from the top. He might just make it. And actually, let's set him up and see if he can't just hang on by himself. And then he can restore protection of Alpasov after we go over the top and recover a little bit. Now we need that water, but this is not much of a descent to get it. Locke hanging on to the back end. He's got no energy left, but he is hanging on. Will he get back up there and provide a little bit of support? Now that water is becoming a desperation moment. Taraskin at the back. Let's go ahead and get it. Locke. Oh, Taraskin, you go to get water and you go way back here. And that never fails. Never fails to disappoint. Because now he's going to attack and waste his energy. And not even make contact. Didn't even make contact with that. Gotta love it sometimes. One of our top 3 guys is going to have to do it. Hamad now beginning his fade. We're going to be down to the 3 guys for the final climb. But there's also just 27 left, so everybody's going to be down on that final climb, which is going to make that final climb quite hard, quite epic. And we're still talking about a 5.5 minute gap to presumably one key guy. There's 3. Sivikov is here, Steinhauser is here, and Julian, who's also an 80 mountain, by the way. Sivikov's 14th as well, so they're very much involved in this 4-minute gap. And our guys, as we go over the top of this, having sat up here, it looks like, Hamad is just right there. Otto, and Otto. These guys aren't far from being in it, but they are out of it. 26. The first riders to come back, though, include Hamad, and we might just get him back up here. Hamad is well placed. Now these 4 +3s and +4s daily on the expected, as they are all on fitness peaks. Gap back out to 640 as we've been experiencing recovery on this descent. In terms of the overall, second and third, Alpsov, Lieberman, and both on +5, so ready will absolutely be used to protect them. But who's looking? We got an 83 with 87 stamina. We have an 84 with 85 stamina. Protect Lieberman, and these guys 48 seconds behind. Hamad might just get back up there. But who are we with? Van Aert, Urenka. Van Aert's 23rd, so I'm not worried about him. Urenka, Hamad should make it back up there, but he's been without protection, and that was his reason for going out the back. These guys are worse riders, but they have bonuses, and we are struggling to hold tempo. So time to up that tempo. Conserved as long as we can. 13K left to go. La Rosière. 16K overall, 6% average gradient. Not as extreme as the others, and the extreme portion is coming up here in a little bit. And as our guys make their way back into position before that climb. Hamad, meanwhile, yeah, not making it up there. Their gap has grown. They've not managed to decrease it, so we just put him on auto and let him do his thing. And that's 11K to go. Can you? No? Sivakov attacking? Pogacar doesn't care. O'Connor attacking from 4th place, and he doesn't care? Sivakov's front group. There's the response from someone. It's Trek. It's not even UAE. I'm very confused as to why a top 5 rider would not elicit a response. 9K to go, but only 3 riders, so I still have to be patient. Gap to the front is still almost 6 minutes. Once you get past this section, though, it gets a little easier. Steinhauser attacking group E3. Was he dropped? We'll find out. Let's find out. There's Steinhauser did get dropped. So that's Sivakov, who's definitely further down, and Julian having dropped Miller, and then Steinhauser. He just dropped Maris is all. Through the steep section, and then we should be able to respond after that. 21 left. Okay. Tempo is increased. That's good. As long as it's increased, we don't need to do anything further, but we need to go 85 now. Ready needs to gel. We can largely focus on preserving our position, but there's one guy in 4th place up there that we need to pull back. Okay, there's one of the steeper portions left. Let's go. 5K. Let's make some progress. We're going to make progress on Steinhauser. We need to make progress on O'Connor. I don't want Ready to run out of energy, so we want Alpasov to take over before the finish, like now. Ready, follow. Julian, Sivakov have already won. We're still 6 minutes down. 2K to go. Ready, hanging on, but not much longer. And 1K to go. Sprinting for Alpasov. And Lieberman now. And we've overtaken O'Connor before the finish line. That's good. Mahoza also up there. What the heck? And then Alpasov. And then look at that. We've got some gaps to everybody else. Pogacar, no. But we're not getting time on him. But there's Ready. Ready's going to lose a little bit. But that's okay, because most everybody that he's coming in with themselves lost time as well. So this is actually really good for our standings. And Hamad, 2K to go. Gel. Let's try to help him recover a little bit. He was 12th place after all, and so if we can, we want to preserve his position slightly here. Already sprinting before he should be sprinting. He sprinted a little early. I was worried about us being down to 3 riders. I really didn't like the looks of that well before the end of the stage on a very difficult stage. I definitely didn't like the look of a group attacking off the front, and I especially didn't like the look of a breakaway that was being given substantial time when a couple of those guys were very much still in the mix in terms of the overall and just outside of the top 10 and outside of a single rider, Pogacar. Everybody else was threatened by it, but seemed to not be threatened by it. So I was pretty worried that things could go wrong in a number of ways. All in all, we did really well. Mahoza gains 30 seconds, but outside of him, we overcame O'Connor. Alpasov and Lieberman were the ones that caught him, and Pogacar was the only one who ended up on same time. So we put 40 seconds in everybody else. Reddy gains a good amount of time. He's only got a handful of riders on the same time as him. A number of contenders like Gear lose time. Deutsch loses time. Hagita. So a number of contenders lose big chunks of time today, and we did a relatively good job. Only our guy who was just outside of the top 10 ends up losing a pretty good chunk of time himself, but he wasn't the only one to lose a big chunk of time. Ayuso had been up there. Garcia, I think, had been up there. There's bound to be others. So, okay, fine, he's going to fall away. He won't be, anywhere near 12th anymore. But there's still that worrying thing. We were 5:15 down. Sivakov was 5-something down. But we were a minute and a half down. So, in the GC, entering the stage. So, Pogacar might still have the lead. Only just. Sivakov's probably going to be second place. And even then, is he still second place? Has Sivakov taken over the race lead? Were they that uninterested in Sivakov that he has stolen the jersey with only one stage to go? Could be. We'll find out in just a second. But that's worrying that he's going to gain a lot of time. Steinhauser was 4-something down. He's going to gain 3:30. Now, no bonus for top 3 at least. But for us, he only gained a minute and a half. So I think we're okay when it comes to Steinhauser. But I don't think we're okay when it comes to Sivakov. So probably looking at 3rd and 4th right now is my guess. Could Reddy be up around 5th or 6th? Oh, Mahoza also. Whew, okay. Yeah. So here we go. Pogacar leads 9 seconds. Pogacar does not gain those 9 seconds. Sivakov is getting that jersey if we did not put that foot down in that final, 5K? Wow. I mean, he'd be more than a minute down. That's shocking that his team did absolutely nothing about that. But Sivakov second, Lieberman, minute and a half down. So we're looking at now a fight for 3rd. Alpasov 2 seconds behind Mahoza, who's on the same time as Lieberman, so we really got to watch him in that final stage. He'll be up there. Mahoza is pretty dang strong, too. I mean, he is an 80 mountain. He's been a breakaway guy, as Sivakov was today. Sivakov's only a 78 mountain here at 30. That's surprising that he's only a 78 mountain when you're surrounded by guys that are that much better. O'Connor, Steinhauser, guys that could fall away, and then Reddy, who is in 8th. We could be finding ourselves, battling still for the podium, certainly for the top 5. This last stage is going to be a different one because a number of breakaway riders suddenly find themselves mixed into that top 10. That was a weird stage. That was a very weird stage. The best defense against a breakaway winning a stage is putting a rider in the breakaway because of the age-old tradition since last year's PCM edition anyway, and they altered the AI. It's you versus everybody else. So getting somebody into the break will almost guarantee that the break does not get that same 8-minute advantage that it had in the last stage. And here you can see it's at 5, but it's definitely not the same. They're pushing pretty hard to push that further out, and Locke, you can see, is quite tired, but it's going to blow this group up pretty dang quick. You can see he's struggling to hang on with a 77. We're having to speed up. It is out to 7 minutes, though, but that group is largely... I can't believe UAE is still not interested, really? Down to 14. One rider's been dropped so far, but Locke, you can see, with an 81 mountain, is struggling to hang on. Of course, his group of 4 were the last ones to join in with the 11 that were up ahead of them before that, but this is suddenly down to 7 riders and 4K to go. And Locke is just hanging on to the group, and it's about to be down to 6. The 6 that are left, Brenner, Hagita, but definitely not the same guys. A lot of the same guys from the last one, and it's down to 5 now as Locke has been dropped. That was less about how strong of a rider he is and how late he joined the group, as Locke was coming up kind of from the rear, and he's part of that group of 3 that don't have the very good expected race day condition, but he ended up with a good draw today, giving that group of 3 anyway a positive race day condition. But meanwhile here, there's no chase. I mean, it's 9.5 minutes. It's 9.5 minutes, so there is no chase whatsoever, shockingly, because we're looking at, you know, Hagita. The Maris is only 5.5 minutes down overall. So he's the one you really got to watch out for. There's a big-time pullback that's got to happen here. The Locke is well behind those guys. Pace is definitely quickened. UAE, just they're not putting much of an effort into this. They're really not. Yeah, it's blinking red now as Chromie comes forward. They finally change out the rider that's leading the way, but Locke needs to be going a lot less than this to get some recovery in, as he is very much solo. He's got a rider 20 seconds behind him, which is Thompson. Thompson looks like he wouldn't be a whole lot of help for Locke. Now this stage, not as bad, the climbs, not as many, and the stage is a little bit longer, so it's not quite as crazy as what we were experiencing there. Thompson does not want to work, really. That's fine, we'll wait for those 6 guys behind us in. He's a good over 7 minutes ahead. Peloton's down to 100 riders. And you got riders spread out all over the place before you get up here, but we're going to wait for those 6 behind us. There you go. And now we will contribute. So it's 8 riders, and we are closing back down on those front 5. You can see Locke really not feeling it as we go through that one. The attack of the front 5 opened that gap back to where it was. And we need somebody to go get water here. Pause for a second while I figure out who that's going to be. Tung. Tung's going to go get water. And we are doing fine at the moment, though we will have to push a little bit harder on this next climb to hold position, so can't just focus on Locke here. I got to make sure that I'm taking care of business. We pulled back a handful of seconds on that front group, but are still 2 minutes behind. Oh, Alpasov goes down. Alpasov goes down. He is 5th overall. Where is... Tung was the one protecting him. He was getting water. Hamad, well, we don't know. Come on. Get up. Get up. Gibbons, the one who goes down with him. No, Taraskin was protecting him. It's Lieberman who's now left unprotected. Tung dropped himself from the group to get water and hadn't even put his arm up yet. He does so now. Rough day, folks. Rough start to the day here. The group has a massive advantage. Locke, who would have otherwise been looking good, but group catches up a little bit late. And then Tung messes up the water. Alpasov crashes. We've caught another group here. We're caught in the middle of the group. I don't want to be pulling this group back. They're not going to help me, so we're going to climb solo. There you go. We've gotten away from the group now. Yeah, Tung's not making progress on the water at all. So we lose out really 2 guys here. Locke 5 minutes ahead now. And 2.5 behind those front 5. No reason to go crazy with that one. UAE. Ayuso at the front. They're going to sacrifice him now, apparently. Tung. Oh, he makes progress. He gets 2 guys water, and he's about to get dropped. We need to get him out of the group fast. In fact, you need to go and wait for Alpasov. If Alpasov's going to make it back up here. Having Tung come and help would be huge for that. Taraskin's going to have to get water. We're now 3 minutes behind the front group here. Four and a half ahead of these guys. And we're down to 45. So Mod. Ready. Improve your position a little bit, please. Taraskin. You got some space out here to the left. Come on. Go around him. Go around him. There you go. There. Okay. 50k to go, so we don't have to worry about water anymore. Good to go to the finish. But Taraskin, Hamad, feeling it. 3k to go. Alpasov. How much closer have you gotten? And what happened? Ah, shoot. Tung waited for him, and then I got distracted. Alpasov. Making it through another group. There's Alaphilippe. There's Bjerg. Isn't Bjerg? No, Bjerg was just working. 2k to go to the top, and Alpasov has made so much progress, but he's gonna not make it up there. There's Taraskin dropped. Ready, hang on. Hamad is gonna just hang on. They're gonna get the recovery, so we've got 3 guys left, plus Locke. Locke can easily just sit up and go back. Yeah, we got dropped from the other 5, so I want you to wait for these guys. You're nowhere near the front group. Oh wow, he's just spinning. But he's recovering, so. Yeah, at that point there was no point with him being out there, right? Him being out there, he's got no chance of the stage as that front 5 is gone away. There we go. We're back in the group. And protecting Lieberman. So we have Lieberman 3rd, we have Reddy 8th. Locke is 39th. Hamad is 22nd now. Taraskin was waiting for Alpasov, so we lost our 5th place rider. He's not going to make it back up. So Taraskin waiting for him does... You know what? There's only a couple minutes. Taraskin is 47th overall. Wait for him. We'll see what happens there. But Alpasov not getting much recovery in at all on this descent. Let Van Aert do the riding for now. Get some recovery. They're almost to the base here. Oh, Taraskin. Whoa, buddy. And Alpasov just follow. There's still another descent to come. No, now he's 5 minutes behind. Remember, there were some fairly healthy gaps in the field. We're down to 6:10 behind. Let's double check what was going on at the front. Eichenberger was 8:24 down. He's not a threat anymore. The 5 that we were in, you got somebody at 9 minutes, so no threats there. But the front 5 did have a threat. Maris, just 5.5 down overall, and we're at 5:40 down. So right now he's still the virtual race leader, and then you got other guys that are, just a few minutes off that. But that's race leader. Right? We're not in race leader position. We're a minute and a half down. We are 3:16 down, so we've definitely got to pull back some time here. And we are not riding hard at all right now. Sivikov working at the front. Nice. Okay, good. Taraskin still pulling and making progress, but 5 minutes down and not getting much. Van Aert's helping. We've picked up Kosnefroy. There we go. Alpasov is recovering now. That's good. Alright, we have 11.7 to go. We have a massive climb, a little better recovery, but we're talking about minuscule recovery, and then another major climb. So this is a really, really difficult final bit. 5 minutes down on the overall, gaining time, so that part's good. Alpasov obviously losing time. He's over 5 minutes behind, but Taraskin is certainly helping him, and they're still descending. So they'll be descending for a little bit. We'll focus on these guys, and then Taraskin will try to continue to lead Alpasov forward, and then Alpasov will try to finish that climb off himself. He got a little bit of recovery. He's in a lot better shape than he was, but they definitely are not looking great. We got to watch our gap. It's way too early for me to make a four-man train, but there's not much pulling happening at the front right now. All right. We've reached the base. Taraskin will gel now. Okay, we've gone over the first climb. Got everybody intact. We've actually lost a little bit of ground as we head into the last one, but now we're looking at 7K, so it's going to be on here relatively soon. So, let's start with that part. Walking a mod, still hanging in there pretty well. And 6K to go. And 6:25. Really not a whole lot of tempo, but yet we're blinking red, so apparently there is some tempo in that. Taraskin. So we'll go over the top of this. We got some support from others. Set him now to an 85. Hamad and Reddy need to get forward. 4.7K. Hamad. Lock. Gel. And Hamad. Lead Ready. Oh wow, yes. Where'd the tempo go? Well, we're trying to see an attack by Ryder, so now's the time to respond. Lock. 85. Hamad. 85. And follow, and then it's Lieberman. No, it's Ready first. Ramping up the speed. Now we're catching up to those guys. Hamad Gel. Ready Gel. Lieberman Gel. 2.4K. Gumbach has taken the stage. We're still 5 minutes behind him. Brenner comes in. Hamad 1.5K. We've overtaken some guys. Maris has crossed the line, so and we're still a ways back. But here comes O'Connor. There comes Moza. Hamad. Ready. Lieberman. Not quite catching O'Connor, are we? Almost. Almost caught him. But there's Ready. There's Lieberman. There's Spagacher. Here comes Hamad, moving way back up the order. Alpasov, we'll focus on him now. 2.5K. Gain what you can gain. Mahoza finished 20th, so we've beaten him. We've knocked him back. There's Ayuso, Eichenberger. Those guys were well up the standings. 300 meters. And we run out of energy just before the finish line, but it's a fairly good recovery. It's still only 42nd and well down. But that's the final stage. We are absolutely going to be up there in the standings, but what is the final position? We'll find out. Lieberman was the one who was third and trying to hang on. Gear managed to get 12th. Julian was 15th. Mahoza, who was absolutely up the order after all of that, was 20th. And Sivikov, nowhere near the top of the standings. Nowhere near the top of the standings. So we are moving up. Pegacher, of course, was there with us. He'll win the overall. But there's one guy from the break very much moving up the order as well. So will we still be ahead of him? Maurice was a minute down, and we were 5:39 behind. So he gains 4.5 minutes over us and was 5-something down overall. So we might have swapped Sivikov for Maris. But Pegacher definitely will take that overall. O'Connor picked up 10 seconds. Hamad gets same time as Lieberman and Reddy, though. I mean, we were right there with O'Connor, and Hamad was not close. Strange how that works sometimes. Locke ended up 7.5 minutes down. Alpasov was 12:59, so yeah, 5th place is long gone. But that's still, yeah, we're still in good shape. What was the final? We do get third. We do get third ahead of O'Connor. So Maris, as I suspected, does. So Sivikov and Maris swap Sivikov all the way down to 11th. He had a terrible day. But Pegacher takes the overall. Maris takes second. Lieberman does get on the podium, gets third. O'Connor. Mahoza keeps 5th place. Reddy gets 6th. Steinhauser slips to 7th, or recovers to 7th. What was it? Hindley. Julian gets 9th. Hagita. Alpasov slips to 20th. Hamad moves back up a spot to 21st. In the under 25s, Maris, out of nowhere, from the breakaway, ends up stealing the under 25 jersey, but we get 2nd and 3rd, 8th and 9th in that. We do get the team classification by a very wide margin, nearly 10 minutes ahead of Bora Hansgrohe. AG2R over 20 minutes down. Bike Exchange 21 down. Trek, that's awesome in that part. UAE really struggled to support their leader, leading to those last 2 stages and some breakaway exceptions. Unexpected breakaway exceptions that really altered that top 10 in each of the 2 stages. But we hang on fairly nicely in our first ever major climbing test. And if not for those couple crazy breakaway situations, you take those guys out of the equation. Maris, O'Connor, Mahoza, Steinhauser were all breakaway guys. We would have been 2nd and 3rd overall. Hindley, was he breakaway? Julian was definitely breakaway. Hagita, I think, was. Sivikov certainly was. Gear certainly was. None of the contenders were left. Pegacher blew up all the contenders except for Lieberman and Reddy. And then you're left with breakaway guys that ended up recovering massive amounts of time. And we were the only ones that were kind of littered in there amongst Pegacher otherwise. And we tried putting somebody in the break. That didn't go terribly well. Locke did recover a decent amount of time on that final stage and certainly went back and helped, but he wasn't in that front group of 5. He got dropped. Overall, it's a really good result. Certainly worth a whole lot of points, especially for a Continental Pro team that entered this one unknown in the world. The Criterium de Dauphine is certainly one of, outside of the classics, we've been a part of them, but it was certainly our first stage race that has a global audience. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll take a second look at the rankings as of right now as we wrap this up, though. No individuals in the top any longer, but as a team, we are still 5th in the World Tour, 4th in the Continental, and 5th in the Super Prestige. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.